What's up? What's up? What's up? Y'all come on in here. Come on inside. Let me get everything set up. Let me get everything set up. Make sure my sound is right. Y'all see my green screen behind me. What's up? My boy Zakiba said he got in here early today. We about to go live. Shout out to my man Allen. He said, chop, chop, brother Jackson. I'm in this thing. I'm at the studio. I'm at Tim Jackson Studios. All right. I tried to set up this green screen, but it's looking janky. I look like this look like something off of 1988 MTV video. You remember them videos back in the day, how janky they used to be? Let me see if I got my banners on here. Let me see if I got my banners. There we go. There we go. Let me know where y'all watching from. He said, here we go. No, listen, Zakiba. Listen. Oh, he probably said, here we go, starting live. But listen, I'm at the office now. I actually I have me some good internet now, man. So y'all let me know what the connection is like. I actually upgraded to the Fios at my office so I can start doing these videos up here. And I've been up here setting up my studio all day. So next time, maybe the screen will be a different color, but y'all know me. I don't really care about things being perfect as much as I care about getting the content to y'all. But y'all come on in. My man said he watching from Grand Prairie. Shout out to everybody that's watching on replay. Let me know where you're watching from. We're going to talk about the topic today, which is start saying no. I want you all to understand how important it is to start saying no because, you know, a lot of us commit to yeses, and most of the times we commit to a yes. It's an emotional commitment. And I want to talk to you all about how overcommitting to a yes will actually derail you from your purpose. Everything that I do moving forward on these in these social media streets will be tied to your purpose because at the end of the day, our purpose is what's going to get us from where we are to where we want to be. I'm using my computer mic today, so if I sound a little janky, my apologies. I'll have my microphone next time. But I wanted to talk about start saying no. And the more I start to get into different rooms with people and start to have different conversations with people, hold on really quick. Let me see something real quick. Let me see something real quick. Make sure this internet is straight. It's telling me my internet is a little janky. All right, here we go. So the more and more I start getting into different rooms with people and start having different conversations with people who have influence, you guys, I realize that there is a certain power that comes with telling people no. And, for me, I was always that person that always was like, yeah, I got you. I got you. Like, I want to be the guy who always was 10 toes down, wanted to help and support everybody. But what happens is that's going to deplete you and that's going to take away from what it is that you're really supposed to be doing in life. Right. And so when I start getting around people of influence, people that have a name for themselves, like a better words, people that have climbed ladders and, have gotten to the top of their career fields or their particular industries, they specialize in saying no. They specialize in ignoring sob stories. They specialize in kind of falling back from a lot of the typical BS that you will see that comes into our everyday life. You being that person who's the responsible person in your family who's done a little well for themselves, who is kind of standing out from the group. So when people need stuff, they call you. Well, these people have specialized in learning how to tell people, no, player, I'm good. And we've seen and we've heard these stories over the years where professional athlete gets drafted, gets these huge signing bonuses, starts making money, and then they start giving all their money away to their family members, opening up, you know, car washes and laundry mats and beauty shops and a whole bunch of different type of cash businesses or businesses that really have a high volatility rate because they don't want to say no because there is a guilt associated with the word no. There's a guilt associated with telling somebody that you can't help them, especially when you know that you have it. And so let's address that really quick, okay? Let's address why is it that we feel so guilty to tell people no when we're the ones who have worked our butts off to get to the level that we're at, and we're the ones that sacrificed all the time, effort, and energy to reach a certain level. So when they come along and they want things from us, we feel like, well, man, these are my people. This is my tribe. You know, this is my cousin, brother, sister, whoever. I'm obligated to tell them yes. Why do we feel that way? I'm going to tell you, for me, outside of my immediate family, I typically don't loan people money at all. And to be truthful with you, I don't even loan my immediate family money because they don't need it. But when I was younger, I found myself being the person that made myself available to people too much, to listen to their sob stories, to hear their problems, to try to solve their issues, right? Because there was a certain guilt. I always tell you guys a story about a friend of mine. My man says survivor's remorse. Man, listen, I always tell you about a friend of mine who actually, we were coming up and we used to get into some trouble or whatnot when we were in high school and shit like that. But when we were coming up, I ended up going to the military, and I was about a year or so older than him. And so when I came back from the military, he was like knee deep in the streets. And I'll never forget, he like made me feel guilty. He said, the only reason that I'm really in the streets is because you left and went to the military. And, had you been here, I would have had a better guidance. I would have had, a better influence. I would have been able to not make the poor decisions that I made. And I would have had someone to look up to that would have kept me out the streets. And you guys, I'm not going to lie, man, 20, 22, 23-year-old Tim really, really felt guilty about that because it was like, man, if I would have stuck around, then maybe his life would have been better. Right. But 32, 33, 34-year-old Tim was like, no, player, that's on you. All right. That don't have anything to do with me. You chose that life. Just like I chose to go to the military. Uh, you chose that life. And I'll never forget having that conversation with him one day because he tried to say it to me again. We were a little much older in our 30s now. And he tried to bring it up again. I was like, no, man, that's on you. I asked you to join the military. I gave you, every time I've come home, I've tried to put you on game, try to teach you how to legitimize your business, try to teach you how to do all this stuff. Like I've literally poured a lot into you, and you have chosen to do what you do in the streets, right? So that ain't on me. That's not on me at all. That's on you. What Yellow Beezy say? That's on me, baby. No, that's on you. That ain't got nothing to do with me. You chose that life. And I'll never forget having that conversation with this particular person. And then after that, I didn't really hear from him anymore. Uh, until this day, I haven't talked to this person. It wasn't even a bad conversation. I think they got locked up, went back into the system. Before they got locked up, they kind of, I don't know if they call themselves get mad at me, unfriended me on social media. Maybe I was doing, too much. I don't know. And they went off to prison and kept perpetuating the lifestyle of liking to be where they were. And I guess maybe it was them knowing that I wasn't gonna be a part of that. So maybe that was why they distanced themselves from me. Erica said, 32 to 38. I ain't trying to hear that. Yeah, we too old for that. But I learned that people will manipulate you and guilt you into doing things for them based on their unwillingness to do it for themselves. All right. I'm gonna say that again. People will guilt you and manipulate you into doing things for them based on their unwillingness to do it for themselves. And you guys, this ain't a pull up your boots by your bootstrap message. I'm not that guy. I can have a whole conversation about that. Tonight, we're just talking about the power of saying no, right? And so I want you to understand if a person is attempting to use guilt to get you to do something, that should be a red flag. That should be red flag number one. You should automatically have your antennas up. You know what Money Mike say? And where was your antennas when I was getting robbed, right? You should automatically have your antennas up because a person that genuinely cares for you and a person that genuinely wants to see the best for you would not attempt to guilt you into doing something simply because they can't get it themselves or they feel like that you have it, right? I don't have it. I tell people all the time, I ain't got it. All right. I don't have it. I don't have it to spare. It ain't my purpose to do whatever it is you're trying to do. And we'll talk about that, right? But that's one thing I want you all to start paying attention to. Whenever you see a person who's attempting to guilt you into doing something they want you to do, you need to steer clear of people like that because they'll lay or press upon that guilt as much as they possibly can until you finally just say, forget it. And then you'll notice those people will start to gravitate away from you and they'll find another person to make feel guilty. Does that make sense? How many of you all have experienced that before? Say I. Feel free to tell me when it says, I said no to working at a lower rate at work, got a raise because the boss liked me. I mean, you can say no, man, it works so many times. Once you're, and it's funny that you say that because one of my topics tonight was going to be about that. You know what I'm saying? No actually brings value. Okay. Once you learn your value, you'll learn that it's important to say no and when to say no and how to say no. Now, I don't want y'all to be walking around talking about, you know, somebody say, hey, man, can you hold the door for me? No, hold the door for yourself, right? Now, I'm not telling you to be mean to people, but you need to understand when to get away from situations where people are forcing you to do things for them. Somebody says, everybody raising say, I got it. Cook, what's up with you, Dre? All right, second thing, here we go. We're gonna go ahead and segue into the value part of it, right? I need to edit that. You know, y'all know I can't type. Let me see. So no brings about value. Okay. When you begin to start setting standards for who you are and who you're not, it's going to automatically separate you from people, situations, and things that are not going to benefit you and that are going to take away from your value. You know, if you read the 10X rule in that book, Grant Cardone talks about saying yes to everything. And I understand the method behind his madness. Essentially, if you're trying to come up, if you're making a name for yourself, you're trying to do good for yourself, or you're trying to get out there, then you definitely want to say yes to everything. You want to be available. You want to be the person that can hop on the call, the person that can hop on the interview, the person that can fill in, the person that can do the job, because you know it's going to set you apart from your competition, right? And in many cases, you don't have any competition. I was just talking to my boy John, who's over in Sweden, and Sweden is a socialist country, and the government takes care of the citizens a lot. And John says, you know, being an American living in Sweden, he actually finds it as a benefit because he out hustles most of the people that he's around. He said because things are given to them so much over there, the one person that does a lot of work and that gets above and beyond out of situations is the person that just always says yes to things and just makes themselves available. Now, the flip side of that is once you become that person who's always saying yes, who's always making themselves available, who's always in the forefront, you'll start to make a name for yourself. And once you start making a name for yourself, you can begin to start setting a price for yourself. Are you guys following me here when I say this? You see, there is a science to it. There's a science to it, right? Uh, you want to get out there and put your name out there, but you want to be selective eventually once you get to that position. And when I say no, I'm talking about the people who are at that position, are getting to that position, or nearly there, right? And I'm also saying say no to some of the things that cause you to be emotionally entangled, right? But no is going to bring value to you because people will begin to see that, oh, wait a minute, Tim isn't really about this kind of stuff. He's really about this. Or if I need this, I need to go to Tim because Tim's not going to be the person that's going to settle for that over there. Does that make sense? So I want you to understand that being able to tell someone no will eventually bring you value, right? And even if you set them up with a bunch of yeses, whether it's in your industry or whatever, once you gain all the knowledge and gain all the expertise, now you're setting the price. So on the come up, there's nothing wrong with saying yes and being there from a 10X perspective. But once you get to that pinnacle, now it becomes more selective and it's going to bring you more value. Does that make sense? I'll give you guys an example of that. When I first, started getting into the real estate world and I got my license and I started, learning the game, I was selling, $80,000, $90,000, $100,000 houses. And I always tell people, the two, I ain't gonna, this is a joke, by the way, but there's some truth to it. The two sets of clients that gave me the worst time are the people that bought the cheapest houses and the people that bought the most expensive houses, right? So you literally put up with just as much headache if a person is buying $100,000 house or if a person is buying a $750,000 house, right? Because the person that don't have no money is going to want too much. They're going to be extremely selective. They're going to, what they call it, they're going to have a champagne taste with a beer budget. And then if you can't find what they need, then they'll find a way to crap on you. On the flip side, typically the people that are purchasing, here in Texas now, anybody watching this, I'm talking about Texas. Anyone purchasing a house over $400,000 or $500,000, most of the people purchasing houses like that work in corporate. They have, decent money. They're making six figures a year. They have some education. So they tend to feel like they know everything, right? And so even though I'm an expert, I have a license, I'm a broker, if their mom said or they Google something, that's one of those things that always tends to be the thing that, really, really, really kind of makes the transaction feel like crap. But here's the thing. I'm getting the same sort of uh, feelings from both of them. but I'm making in many cases 7, 8 times more money with a high end person. And it was like, once I realized this, I know this may sound bad to some, but I'm just going to keep it real with you guys. Once I realized this, those other houses just weren't even something I would even work with anymore. Unless we were buying them ourselves and flipping them or buying them and holding them, I wouldn't even touch a house under $200,000. Like, I'm there now. If a person calls me right now looking for a house under $200,000 and they're looking for financing and they don't have cash, and they're not an investor, like, we don't have anything to talk about. It's nothing personal, but that's just not my lane anymore. My lane is going to be over here in the 500,000 plus, because if I'm going to be dealing with a headache, I might as well be getting compensated properly for it. And that's what a no will lead to. And I'll never forget trying to explain this to many of my agents. I'm like they would just be so frantic to turn down certain types of businesses or turn down certain types of clients because they felt like, no would be a death sentence to their career. And what I explained to them is that, no, that's not how it works. Now, you might want to take a little small deal right now to get your feet wet, but once you start learning the ropes, you need to learn how to refer those deals out and pass them off, because those deals are going to take up so much amount of your time, effort, and energy, and you're only going to get paid, $3,000 for it. And then I'm like Dollar Bill on Friday. That's where I get my 30%. So you're gonna have to slide me another $900. So you're really gonna get paid $2,100 off of a deal, but you spent 20, 30 hours working on it. And now you ain't got no money and you mad at the world and you ain't renewing your license. All right, y'all, this wouldn't be right if something wasn't going on. So let me plug in my charger really quick. Hold on. There we go. So you spending all your time, effort, and energy on those little low deals, but then you mad because you done drove all across town. These people want to see a house. If y'all know the Dallas-Fort Worth area, they'll want to see a house in Arlington, then they'll want to go see a house in Mesquite. The drive is 30 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Straight shot. That's not during rush hour. Most people get off work at 4 or 5, so you can add another 20 minutes to that. So you're in a car for 60 minutes one way to show 1 or 2 houses that you're not going to win the bid on because they don't have the money. They don't have extra cash. Everybody's trying to buy a house in this price. And now you've had to show them 50 or 60, 70 houses in some cases just to make $2,100. Now, somebody might say, oh, come on, Tim, you tripping. You sound like an elitist. You sound like somebody that's thinking they better than people. No, I'm just keeping it real with you, right? You think about that. Look at your job right now. Would you work 80 hours a week, or would you work 80 hours in a 2-week period of time to get paid $2,100 before tax if you're in a professional environment? The answer to that typically is no, right? A lot of you all make more than that now. I'm just giving you the game. You know what I'm saying? So let me see. Erica said 30 minutes in traffic, Austin, Texas, right? I mean, to go open the door on a property that you're not going to even probably close, versus if a person that's $750,000 flies in, you notice what I said, the whole terminology changed. They fly in town, right, to go look at some houses for the weekend. They come in with a purpose, all right? You might drive to Grand Prairie. You might drive to Frisco, which is about an hour away from each other in traffic, maybe 45 minutes straight shot. But the payoff is going to be 7 times more than what it would have been on that lower deal. So you got to understand that you have to say no to get to your yes. On my Instagram feed, on my profile, I think it says, tell me no so I can get to the yes. Because that no will lead you to a bigger yes as long as you have your skills and everything sharpened, right? Now, another thing I want to point out is typically when you commit to stuff like this, it's based on emotions. It's based on 100% emotions. And sometimes you'll volunteer yourself before someone even asking you. I have that really bad. I had it really bad. I don't have it bad no more. Where I would see a person, I would always fall for, the damsel in distress or the dame in distress. That one friend that always has some. And oh man, you going through that? Man, I tell you what, let me help you with this, right? And then I had to, once I got with Ayana, she started calling it out real bad. She was like, Tim, I don't know why you think you got to be everybody's everything, but these folks are just using you, man. Like, see it for what it is. Like, they're calling you because they know you have a big heart. They're calling you because they know you want to see your people win. They're calling you because they know your commitment to seeing people become excellent and finding their purpose. But they're not using you for that. They're using you to parlay something else out of you. And you need to stop showing, You need to stop coming across as the person that's trying to give everyone everything or help everyone, because everybody can't be saved. Everybody doesn't won't appreciate and doesn't deserve your help. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Christian. He said, "What's good coming in from Atlanta, GA? What's up? What's up?" Said, everyone doesn't deserve your help. Everyone doesn't deserve your attention. And if they do receive your help or your attention, they need to be paying for it. And like I told you guys a story about how when I left the office one day and came back, somebody called, was asking a bunch of questions. She was like, "Well, I can put you on the phone with Tim, but it's going to be a console fee." And she got me my very first console, which at the time was just $100 an hour. Now that fee has gone up significantly, but it's knowing the value, which is something I'm going to segue into now. People will pay for your value. People will pay for your value. Going back to the previous point, saying no creates value, and people will pay you for your value. Get out of the mindset of thinking that people don't have money. Get out of the mindset of thinking that people can't afford you. Get out of the mindset of thinking that you're overpricing your products. Get out of the mindset of thinking that you're just not worth it. Okay. That's a mindset. I watch cats. Listen, I just got into the shoe game. Like, my cousin is really getting me into designer shoes like your Nikes and your Jordans and stuff like that. And I never really was into that before. But now that I'm into it from a cultural standpoint, and you know, I like it personally because it starts conversations. Everywhere I go, if I have on a certain pair of shoes, people just stop me and want to talk to me. And that's my way of, you know, engaging them by saying, "Oh yeah, by the way, here's my business card. Go check out my website. I teach people how to find their purpose, you know, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera." But once I got into this game, I realized that a lot of people that you think ain't got no money, they got the money. They got the bread because they're paying double retail, triple, sometimes quadruple retail for certain pairs of shoes. I see people that have every new pair of Jordans out, and I think to myself, you got every pair of Jordans. I know what I've paid for some of these shoes. And you coming to me asking me for a hookup on my course, or you coming to me asking me for free advice, or you coming to me trying to pick my brain? No, 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 no. I'm gonna shoot you this link, okay? I need you to pick this invoice, all right? Because you're choosing to spend your money on the things that you want to spend your money on, and then you come to me to steal my value from me because you selectively chosen to spend your money somewhere else. People have the money. Tell folks no. What Jay-Z say, set the price, live your life, be willing to walk away from a dollar so that you can go make $10 or $100 or $1,000. Once I mastered the concept of being able to just walk away from certain situations and tell myself it's going to come back to me based on my expertise, my knowledge, and the people I'm surrounding myself with, that's what took me to a different level. That's where I got, you know, the extra income from. You know what I'm saying? That's where I was able to leverage my knowledge and my expertise more, because just because these people around me don't want to give me the bread, there's people outside of me who will. And then I start getting people from out of state, California, DC, Florida, Chicago, finding me on the internet from videos, finding me on the internet from different things, reaching out to me because they saw my value, being willing to pay to sit down with me for an hour to talk about strategies, talk about how you did this. And this isn't just a real estate thing. Anything that you are selling right now, maybe you're in cybersecurity, maybe you have a barbershop, maybe you have a product online, maybe you sell cars, maybe you sell insurance, maybe you have a real estate license. You can sell your knowledge and information to a person who sees value in your conversation. And there's nothing wrong with that, because there's people have hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of student loan debt to learn about a specific profession. So why can't a person spend a couple of hundred or maybe a couple $1,000s with you to specifically learn how to deploy certain aspects of what you do? Does that make sense to you guys? My man said, "Oh no, yeah, we not giving out the information for free." The disrespect is wild out here. I'm telling you, Eric. He says, "I am expensive." There's nothing wrong with putting value on who you are. And typically that comes in the form of a no. Who cares if a person goes out and talks bad about you? You know, I had a person call, well, they say they called our office and we didn't answer the phone or we were rude to them. One thing we ain't here in my office is rude, but somebody left me a bad review one time. And I was just like, I don't even remember talking to you, right? But I almost, if I had to pinpoint who it was a person who called me and asked me if I can help them find a rental property like for lease. And my response was, I'm sorry, I don't do leases, but I wish I could help you. And they were like, well, can you refer me to somebody? I said, unfortunately, I don't know anyone who does it. And the person hung up in my face. And then a couple of days later, I had a bad review. But I was okay with that because I don't do leases. I would have gotten paid on the lease at that time. I would have been out showing her, I would have at least showed her about 30 properties. And I would have probably made $200 on that lease, maybe $300 on that lease, tops. So does that add up? No, it doesn't add up. Okay. When I can go find somebody that's trying to buy a $500,000 house and only have to show them 15 or 20, and then I'm going to make, what's 3% of 500,000? 50, what's that, 15,000 just off of one particular property? Okay. Show this person for 2 weeks and put in a bunch of applications and make $300, or show somebody for a couple of weekends and make $15,000. Like, so what I started to do is I started to create content based on how to get out of your lease, create content based on how to purchase a property with no money down, create content based on how to, find the perfect home in a bad market, right? So when they would call me, instead of saying I can't help you, I would say, well, hey, listen, I have this course that's online. I can send it to you for nothing, free of charge. It'll teach you how to boost your credit score by 150 points in 90 days. It'll also teach you how to find down payment assistance money. And it'll also teach you how to get out of, your lease and do this and that. And most of the times people are like, cool, but then some people are like, no, I'm good. I'm like, but you called me and said you've been looking for a property, a lease property for 3 months. You're going month to month. You're paying too much. You'd rather go another 3 months looking for a piece of property that you're going to rent out, and that the rent's going to go up on you in the next 12 months versus taking those 3 months to figure out how to improve your credit by 150 points, how to find programs with zero down, how to make offers. That's not a me problem. That's a you problem, right? So you have to start knowing your audience and knowing who you're dealing with, because some people just don't want your help. They just want you to solve their problem in the moment. And once I was able to determine and understand that, my life changed, because then I was able to spot a person trying to, mark me as a sucker, for lack of better words, according to the 48 laws of power, a mile away, because they all had that same little sob story vibe, that whole, oh, Tim, man, you won't believe what happened today, man. Like, come on, man. I don't care what happened today. Me and Yana had this thing at the house. I don't want to hear no sob stories. If somebody calling you for sob stories, I don't want to know it. Okay. It ain't my problem. I don't want to take on that negative energy. I don't want to take on that vibe of being someone who is entertaining a sob story, because what happens is you eventually get drawn into it. And whether or not you support them or not, you'll begin to perpetuate their miserable attitudes and their, you'll begin to perpetuate that same mood. And then you'll start seeing things from a sob story standpoint. And then now, oh, this food is cold. You start going out to eat with them. Oh man, something's always wrong with that person, right? And that's who I'm avoiding. And the no taught me that. My boy Alan said, light bulb moment. Said, come on, Tim. I've been month to month, a year now. I am too picky. I gotta figure out. Come on, Erica. You got that big bread though. You can buy up the whole apartment complex. What's good with you, AJ? Oh, look at Yana. Yana done updated a little picture. She looking like somebody, little cousin that just got out of college. You know what I'm saying? So I want you all to start understanding how your no's need to be strategic, and they need to come often. You need to put yourself in situations to where half the time you're saying no to the people that are wasting your time, that aren't going to be about that business. And the other half, you're saying yes exponentially. Okay. Because the opportunities are going to come. They're going to come. Right. So I'll leave with this note right here. She switched it up on us, huh? Yeah. She out here trying to find a man. I don't know what you're doing. We'll talk about that when we get to the house. So I want you all to think of this right here as it relates to your purpose. And this is my favorite way. Like when people call you, it's Girl Scout season. Okay. I walked to the grocery store the other day. I was walking in, and they were setting up shop. They were, yeah, we finna get us some suckers, right? We got a new cookie this year too, right? And I said, man, I hope I don't sound petty, but they better not ask me for no if I want to buy no cookies. And they, they kind of saw it on my face, like, don't ask me because I got an answer for you. One, I've been in the gym like crazy. I'm super sore right now. I started a new workout regimen today. And man, or this weekend, man, I'm sitting over here doing the robot. I'm so sore. I can barely take my shirt off. But buying those cookies are not a part of my purpose. All right. It's just not a part of my purpose. So I'm going to give you all a phrase to say. Let me say, type in here. Let me see. Who else is joining? I see a lot of people joining in. Let me know where y'all watching from. Let me know where y'all watching from. Give me 1 second. Now, Yana has heard me say this. William has heard me say this. I'm going to share what I always say to people when they ask me to do something that I just don't want to do or that I'm not going to do. I say, unfortunately, that is not a part of my purpose. And I've learned that saying that is actually better than saying no, because a person who really, really understands, the power of getting from where you are to where you want to be can understand what he say. He said, get it from God is my saying. Negative people, right? Oh man, Austin, Texas Power Conservation Team know is important. When I tell people this, they look at me funny. Two, they'll laugh at me. But three, they're like, I can respect that. I'm telling you, man, the Girl Scout cookie people, I'm walking the store. Excuse me, sir. No, that's not a part of my purpose. Somebody called me, hey, brother, listen, man, I want to tell you about this opportunity that I have. No, it's not a part of my purpose. I'll never forget, some people moved in next door, and they were like a temp agency or something like that. He said, I got to add that to my lexicon. Christian, it's the best when I tell you, man, because people don't get upset with me now. So this guy moved in next door. And you know how it is. Somebody come in, if you ever worked in an office building, everybody want to get to know you because everybody's selling something, right? I'm a real estate broker. You got an attorney in here. But honestly, I wasn't really the person that's pushing the sales as hard. So he moves in and he comes and knocks on the door one day. And we have an attorney in here. And I think he was really just trying to holler at her. And so he opened the door and I was sitting up front. I was like, hey, brother, can I help you? You know what I'm saying? He was, oh, hey, man, how you doing? I'm such and such from next door, yada, yada, yada. Gave me his business card. And so I said, well, here's my business card too. Feel free if you know anyone looking to buy or sell real estate in the near future, let me know. Typical, spiel. So me and y'all are sitting at the house, y'all probably be like, man, Tim need a reality show. All these stories I'll be telling them these are real stories too. So we sitting at the house. And if you watching this, my brother, oh, well, I'm going to tell this story because I told you what I'm about to tell them. So I get this call, man. It was a random call. And anyone who knows me, Erica always gets on to me about this because Erica's up at 2:00 in the morning, like working all the time. And then she'll call me, like, she'll text me at 10 or call me at 10 and I'll miss it and I'll see it and I'll text them like, hey, I just saw it. That's because I turn my phone on Do Not Disturb at 8:00. 8:00 p.m., my phone's on Do Not Disturb. If your name isn't Ayana or my mom, or a few other people, you ain't getting through. It just is what it is. I don't hear it ring. It doesn't vibrate. I don't even look at it, to be honest with you. But for some reason, my phone was off of Do Not Disturb. Like, I don't know what it was. It was like 8:30. So I answered the phone. I'm like, hello? He's like, hey, what's going on, brother? Red flag number one. Somebody calling you late at night and they hit you with the brother talk. They're going to probably want to borrow some money or do something. And so I was like, who is this? And he was like, this is such and such from next door. We spoke today. I said, oh, yeah. What's going on, man? It's kind of late. I typically don't do business at this hour. How can I help you? Anyone who knows me knows I'm a very abrupt person. I don't get around. I get to the point. I don't have time for all the shenanigans, if you will. The Ford. What is it? What's the Ford acronym? Family, occupation, recreation, and desires. That's the Ford analogy. If you're ever trying to build a conversation, remember the Ford analogy, like Ford trucks: family, occupation, recreation, desires. That's what you ask people. Anyway, I don't do business this late. What's the deal, my guy? He said, well, man, listen, I have this business opportunity that I want to run by you. And so he said, so I found this company that's selling. I'm trying not to laugh. Y'all. I'm, I'm gonna get it out, y'all. I'm gonna get it out. He said, I found this company that's selling carnival equipment. So, like, you know, them carnivals that come to town and they set up in the grocery store parking lots. Oh man, they got tons of equipment, man, that's on sale right now. And these carnivals, man, they're the thing, man. These churches are doing them, man. You go to the to the little bazaars. They be in the parking lot. They travel around and make a ton of money. Right? Now, y'all, this was literally like April of 2020. Y'all know the world was shut down, right? No. Was it? Yeah. This was during the time when the world was shut down. And so I'm like, so if y'all know me, y'all know I'm a little off. I didn't even cut him off. I said, tell me more. So he starts talking about how he can acquire this carnival equipment, and we live in the South, so the people down here ain't following any rules, especially out in the rural counties. Like in Dallas County, it's gonna be hard, but if you go to Rockwall County and Kaufman County, and you go to these rural counties, it'll be easy money, man. We could make a killing together. I said, oh, together? He's like, yeah. I said, well, what all am I gonna like? What does all of this entail? He said, well, honestly, brother, you see, I can't qualify for a loan, but I know you can, brother. I know you teach the credit. He said credit with a K. I know you teach them credit classes, and you doing pretty well for yourself. You're a broker, and he said, so I was thinking that we can go into business together, and you can get the loan, and then I can help you with the operations. It total Reverend Leon Lonnie Love vibes. Y'all know Reverend Leon Lonnie Love from Martin, right? So I said, tell me more. I think I had him on speakerphone. Y'all was looking like, what in the hell is this dude talking about? And so he kept going. So he said, so what do you think? I said, my brother, unfortunately, that is not a part of my purpose. I said, but I just wanted you to do your sales pitch so that you can get the hang of it, because I damn sure ain't finna invest in no circus equipment. These are verbatim, y'all. I said, but the more you get the hang of this sales pitch, the more it will be easier for you in the future. I said, but Yana dying, y'all. Yana is dying right now because she was there. I said, but it will be a cold day in hell when I invest in some circus equipment, my guy. I said, well, he said, okay. I said, well, I wish you the best of luck. And he sounded like he was disappointed that I said no. But I had to give him the game. Somebody said, maybe you should create your own YouTube reality page outside of this one. My life is, hey, listen, man, let me tell you something. I'm already on it. This is going to be my primary platform, but I'm going to be posting different content here that y'all are going to enjoy. I promise you that. I actually talked to my publicist today, so I'm getting ready to get some stuff in line. Y'all stay tuned. Anybody who knows me, people from Dallas, people that know me here in the city, they know how I get down. They know my name. I got a good name in Dallas. I got a very good name in Dallas. I've always been, based on the way I was raised, I never really did a lot of business on the internet. I always just use the internet to goof off, you know what I'm saying? But getting around different people, I'm learning that the internet is where life is, right? So, fortunately for me, I have a bunch of pictures and a bunch of content that I've never posted that I'm getting ready to re-release. And when y'all start seeing some of the stuff that I've been doing over the last 10 years, you're going to be amazed. Like, damn, he's doing all that. I never did things to get publicity. I always did it because I felt like it was the right thing to do. But what I'm learning is now how not to feel guilty telling people the stuff that we did, right? Because I was always taught you do stuff in silence, But that's not how the world operates. You need to show people what you're doing. You need to show people your receipts, because when I get online talking about it, they're going to want to see my receipts. And you can pull my card all day long, because that's what I do. Yeah, my guy asked for some carnival equipment, my guy. He said, full clown. She said, you let him do the whole spiel like 20 minutes. Y'all, I let him do the whole spiel for 20 minutes. That was about to be a carny. He said, what did he say? You can get the loan and I can help you. Listen, he had it all set up, man. Like he had it all set up. But the point is, it wasn't a part of my purpose. And I explained to him, I was like, hey man, it's not a part of my purpose, man. I'm a real estate broker. I teach people how to buy and sell real estate. I teach people how to learn their purpose. I teach people how to improve their credit. That's not. I'm not going to be at First Baptist Rockwall on Saturdays and Sundays running a damn carnival. That's just not realistic, my guy. You know what I'm saying? And so for anyone that's trying to sell carnival equipment, you need to go to www.timjacksonnow.com and sign up for my free credit information so you can get that bad credit. Get that bad credit out your name so you can buy your own equipment. But two, so you can find out your purpose so you can get out the carnival equipment game. Because trust me, that is a dying industry. There's no statistics saying that the carnival game is coming back. Okay. Y'all, you have to be on purpose. And I want you all to start looking at life from a standpoint of how does this impact my purpose? What if I make this decision right now? If I say yes to this right now instead of saying no, how is that going to derail me from what I'm supposed to be doing from that gift that was given to me, from that vision that was given to me? I'm gonna end right here. I mentor a lot of guys that are in prison right now, or guys who come home from prison, helping them publish their books, helping them, do certain things in their life. And there's one particular guy, I'm going to bring him on the show. He has such an interesting story. He and I were meeting for lunch the other day, and literally, man, the manifestation was so real. He was speaking about somebody, and the guy walked into the building. We were talking about some other guy, and he actually bumped into the guy today. And it's somebody I've been telling him we need to connect with because he's doing good things and you have a good story. But like literally everything this guy speaks comes into fruition. And he specializes in telling people no. He specializes in telling people no while helping them where he can, right? And once you know your limits, once you know where you're not going to bend, once you know where you're not going to fold, it becomes easier, right? If people call me, people close to me, if they do call me and say, Tim, I'm in a bind, I need some money, can I borrow some money? I never lend out money, but what I do for certain people, if I feel like it's warranted, is I'll say, hey, here's the thing. I got this much money set aside for times like these. You can have it. I never expect it back. Never talk about it again, but just know this is the one and only time that I'm ever going to give you any money. So do right by it, right? And I never even think about it after that, right? Why? Because you have to be a blessing to people when you're able to be a blessing to people. I understand that. On the flip side, you can't be a sucker. You can't be a person that's always saying no to things that aren't a part of your purpose. Because what you're going to do is you're going to find yourself pouring into that situation more than the person who brought you to the playing field, who brought that situation to you. And then what happens is you start feeling some way because you're giving 10 times more than they're giving, but it's their purpose. It's their idea. It's what they brought to you. So now you over here juggling your life and then trying to manage theirs too, all because you didn't know how to say no. So what questions do you guys have? I hope that this made sense to you all because a lot of y'all watching this have a problem with saying no. A lot of you all right now are working on a project or you're working on a task or you got to help somebody move this weekend or you got to, watch somebody kids or you got to drive somebody out of town, like whatever it is you got to do, right? Whatever it is you got to do, you signed up for because you couldn't say no. And then there's resentment that's being built. And then you find yourself saying, I ain't gonna never. Well, you didn't have to. You volunteered yourself. You can't get mad at people because you said yes to something that they asked you for. He says, I'm learning on getting better at saying no. You better start doing it. It works wonders. You'd be surprised. And then those people who tend to come to you for stuff will leave you the hell alone. They won't bother you anymore. They'll find someone else. And, Yana said you have to create boundaries for yourself. You absolutely have to create boundaries for yourself, right? Until you create those boundaries. And Yana helped me over the years with creating boundaries because I just didn't have them. I was always the yes, I got you. This on the hood. We from the Grove. Let's get it. Hey, if I got it, you got it. We all got it. And then what happened was I was the only person that had it and that was bringing it, and everybody else was just kind of taking it. You know what I'm saying? So that blind loyalty to people, situations, and circumstances that we tend to always have, it became a situation where it felt like a job, feeling that I had to take care of these people. And then I start finding myself resenting certain people in certain situations, all because I didn't have a big enough heart to just tell them no. And I'll never forget the very first time I told somebody no, they was like, all right, man, well, listen, I appreciate you taking my call. And I'll get up at you another time. Like, all right, man, phone number will always work. I just ain't gonna do that. Okay. And I hung up the phone. I was all nervous, like, oh man, that felt funny. And then I ended up seeing a person a couple of days later, and it was all good. They found what they were looking for. Sometimes people need that no so they can go out there and get it. It makes them a little bit more hungry. You understand what I'm saying? He says, being timid has cost me a lot of time and money in the past. Listen, I'm not going to tell you how much money I done spent, preserving people's feelings. I mean, I could probably pick up something in this office right now that I bought because I just want to support somebody because that's the thing to do. And not to say that support needs to be reciprocated. Support I've already talked about support is an illusion. People buy what benefits them, right? Not me. I had to train myself to start buying what benefits me versus just spending money because I could write it off on my taxes. I talked to my accountant today and we were talking about a bunch of stuff that I'm gonna write off. He was like, yeah, man, you can write that off. So to me, it was just like, I need to write off, and I want to show them that I support them. But those people, many times they never reciprocated it. And so my mindset was, okay, reciprocation is how we build the nation. You know what I'm saying? Reciprocation is how you build the nation. If you're not reciprocating, then this is a one-way conversation or one-way relationship, and we ain't having that. Being timid in the past. Oh, yeah, my bad. I already read that. All right. So with that being said, you all, I want you to know that I got some dope content coming out. I've been working behind the scenes a ton, you all. But if there's something that you struggle with, specifically as it relates to your purpose, or if there's a concept that you want to tackle, a news story that you want me to address, a headline that you saw, feel free to hit me up or put in the comments and let me know. I'm going to always address it from a standpoint of purpose, though. I'm not going to give my personal opinion on a lot of stuff because I guess I will sometimes, but for the most part, I'm going to keep it to the purpose, right? I'll give, little tidbits. Now, if I see that I feel like somebody's taking advantage of us or doing something like stupid, then I might say, hey, these are my thoughts. But in contrast to your purpose, X, Y, Z. So if you can think of anything that you feel like needs to be addressed, something that you're struggling with, something that will get you from point A to point B. It could be on any topic, you guys. Me and Yana used to do a relationship show. We might bring that back too, because there's a whole lot of stuff out there on the internet about relationships that just ain't real. But people like that. So we did pretty well with our relationship show when we were doing it, and we just kind of fell out, man. We was living life. So let me know in the comments or add me on a story and say, hey Tim, this would be good to talk about. And I'll make sure that I do it. But with that being said, y'all, I'm going to get up out of here. As y'all can see, I got the green screen behind me. I'm so excited. I'm getting my studio in line. We're about to take it to a different level on these videos. We're about to take it to a different level. Yana said we need to bring back, we do need, their relationship show was popping, man. Like, it's people to this day that still be hitting us up about their relationship show. Because Yana and I, we're very transparent about our relationship. We're very transparent about some of the problems we've had in our marriage, some of the problems we had when we were dating, transparent about how, when she met me, she was all over me, y'all. I mean, she couldn't let your boy go. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it just was what it was. I mean, she y'all should have seen how she was acting with your boy. And so we transparent about a lot of things, you know what I'm saying? But the thing is that there's so much misinformation out there. A lot of people are getting into bad situations, whether it be business, relationships, ventures, based on taking the advice of other people. You know what I'm saying? And so, see, that's how she said, look at her. When people lying, look at she misspelling words. She said, okay, that's a Lear. See, you was lying so quick, you couldn't even get the word out right. And so my thing is I want to change the narrative on some of that misinformation and tie it back to your purpose, you guys. Because if you're not on purpose, you tripping. Shout out to everybody that's taking the 21-day purpose challenge. I'm getting some great feedback on that. I'm getting people texting me and emailing me, telling me it's changing their life, that they're seeing things from a different perspective, that they're learning how to face their fears, that they didn't realize that how much time they were wasting on one thing. I always tell people I have a master's degree. My master's degree is sitting right over there. And I'm gonna do a show on that in the very, very near future about this degree. I have a master's degree that I am not using because it's just not a part of my purpose. Like literally everything about this master's degree, I'm not gonna call it a waste of time because I love the subject matter and the content, but I applied for plenty of jobs, several jobs, and I just couldn't get them because one, my opinions tend to be a little sharper than what a lot of these companies want. But two, it wasn't my purpose, right? I mean, it just never worked out for me. And so many people out there are in hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of debt behind careers that they don't even participate in, they don't even use, or that they are just completely disgusted with. So we want to talk about that. We want to talk about that. My guy said today is embrace rejection. How's that going, man? How is the embrace rejection? And, rejection is cool. Rejection is no. Rejection is being told no. I love rejection. You guys, my wife and another entity told me to reach out to a local news reporter here in Dallas that specializes. I ain't gonna do that right now, just in case they watching. I don't want them to think I'm trying to throw shade. But that specializes in community stories, and so I know several people who reached out to this person. They've gotten their stories on the news, and they've gotten coverage, and this person will not respond to me. Like this person will not respond to me, and I'm just like, I wonder what that's about. But what I'm learning is that, well, maybe I'm just not their flavor, or when a person's in a position like that, sometimes you can't put everybody on TV, because it may not align with who they are, what they're doing, or that person can just be hella busy. Right? I look at it from both perspectives, right? Y'all know me. I'm gonna keep emailing to that person. Just say stop emailing me. I'm gonna keep saying following up, following up, following up, right? But I have other contacts in the media who I can call right now. But I'm trying to work with this specific person because this is their niche, and maybe they just inundated with a bunch of work. But I'm not mad at them. Like it's just rejection. It is what it is. So in the process of being rejected, I literally came up with an alternative method to that I'm about to release. That's about to come out next week. That y'all are gonna be like, damn! Like Tim does not take no for an answer. He takes no as let me find the yes. Like a lot of times, some of y'all are told no, and it just ruins your day. It ruins your life. You want to quit. I ain't gonna never do that again. No just means not right now. Because I know that once our audience, I'm saying our because you guys who watch this, you're a part of this. Once our audience starts growing, and once I start getting them checks by my name, and once I start doing stuff, those same people who aren't responding to me, I've reached out to so many people for my documentary, for interviews in Dallas. I mean, I reached out to that. I had to reach out to Houston. Anybody from Dallas know Dallas and Houston, we two different cities and we don't like the mix, right? But it took a Houston rapper. It took a Houston rapper to respond to me. I reached out to all the rappers in Dallas, like, hey, I'm Tim Jackson. I'm local. I'm from the Grove. This is what I'm doing. I'm a zoning commissioner. No, I didn't say that. I didn't say that in the email because like you can't. I said, here's my resume, which says everything that I do. And I'm shooting a documentary and I'm looking to create this content. And I want to tell your story. I want to license and pay for your music. Like I want to, put money in your pocket. What do we need to do, man? So many people left me on scene or left me on red. I'm just like, well, damn, they don't want to make this money, And finally, I was just like, okay, well, shit, let me just reach out to somebody else. I reached out to Lil Kiki in Houston, Texas, somebody I grew up listening to. Y'all, he responded to me right back. And then he was like, yeah, call my publicist. Call the publicist. Hey, this is what we're trying to do. Okay, call the licensing people. Boom, call the licensing people. You want to license the music? It's this price. If you want to interview him, it's this price. When are you ready to do it? And I'm just like, what dollar bill say on Players Club? Immediately. And literally, he was like, hey, I'm going to be in Dallas. I got a show in Dallas on this date at this time. I can come. It was the Dallas Car Show, the one that we have every year. He said, as soon as that appearance is over with, I can come to you. Y'all, it was so easy working with this dude because he's a professional. He understands, is on his terms. He asked me what the movie was about. I told him I was transparent. I was straightforward. He's like, okay, that's cool. Yeah, this is my price. And here's our contract. You know what I'm saying? You sign our contract, and then we're going to send me your contract, and I'll sign your contract. And you send me this much money up front, or you send me this much money before I speak, and that's it. And y'all, that was it. Y'all know how much I love Dallas. I got it tatted on my arm, y'all. But I couldn't get no Dallas rappers to even look my way because people in Dallas just funny acting like that. It's just Dallas is the home of a $30,000 millionaire. I've been saying that for 10 years, right? We just some funny acting people. If you look at our rap scene hasn't really gone anywhere because the rappers won't work with each other. So if the rappers don't work with each other, who am I? I can't expect them to work with me. But what I noticed is that once you start getting a name for yourself, once you start getting a little clout behind you, then everybody want to jump on board and start screaming, "We from Dallas." So I just took notes on everybody who left me on scene. So when I say we for the people that support what we got going on, this whole tribe right here, this whole Real Solutions tribe, when we start getting to the top, I'm gonna remember y'all. I'm gonna remember y'all. And when they come in the door, I ain't gonna push them away. That price just gonna be a little bit different. Ain't no harm feelings. What old girl say on Harlem Nights when she was getting ready to whoop old boy Quick's ass? She said, "Look here, I'm about to whoop your ass, and it ain't gonna be no hard feelings after." That's why. That was my mindset. It ain't gonna be no hard feelings. I love you. I still listen to your music. We still repping the city, but the price gonna go up a little bit more. You gonna get a little tax, okay? And when Houston reach out to me, because it will happen, because we doing some big things, they gonna get the base price. Why? Because they made themselves available, and that's life, you guys. That's life. Somebody said, I just got off of work, so I'm setting aside half an hour to do this. Absolutely. He says, trust me, I got a bachelor's degree in history. Total waste. Christian, I got a master's degree in history, man. The only thing I've used my degree for is to argue with people on Facebook. And they still don't, I still don't win arguments with people. They stupid. They believe what they want to believe. If you look at my bookshelf right now, it's a bunch of books on real estate, the economy, and history right now. I love history, man. Like, love history. I can teach at the college level, maybe. You know, I got to connect now at colleges out here, so I can probably get on there now. But you guys, when I was applying, wouldn't nobody look my way because I didn't have any experience. That collegiate education is a very, very, I hate to use the term clandestine, but it's very clandestine. It's very cliquish. It's all about who you know to get in. Even at the adjunct level, where I ain't gonna talk about how much they pay, but even at the adjunct level at a community college, it's about who you know. He said, cause Houston's the best. I wouldn't say all that. Houston's a fun city. He said, Tom would never do that, man. Hey, funny story, man. I got shouted out in a DSR song. So I'm sure I think I did good by them. I'm definitely debating on moving to Houston. Hey, Houston's all right, man. If you're looking for some progressiveness down there, we were down in Houston about 3 weeks ago. I had a great time. I love my city. I love Dallas, but it's just not progressive. I mean, that's a fact. I don't care who you are, where you're from. I can sell y'all dreams all day long. The economy here is amazing. Tech, we got banking, we got tech, we got insurance, we got call centers galore. You won't have no problems finding no jobs here in Dallas. But outside of that, I mean, Dallas is a very segregated city. That's easy to determine. As soon as you get here, you'll see that. And then Black people in Dallas, man, like we just, I'm gonna say we, even though I don't consider myself to be a part of the group that I'm about to talk about, but most of the Black people in Dallas they still behind on a lot of stuff. They still behind on a lot of stuff. No matter how much I preach to the rooftop, we should be doing this. Well, I don't know about that, Tim. All right. You go down to Houston, man. It's super progressive, man. So, but enough about Houston. They don't got enough shine. I love H-Town. I love Dallas more. All right. Y'all like, share, subscribe. I need to get to 1,000 followers. My goal is to get to 1,000 followers by Valentine's Day, you guys. We got 5 days. So let's get to 1,000 followers so we can get to a different level. All right, y'all. It's been real. I'll talk to you guys later. Be sure to register for the 21-day purpose challenge. It's changing lives. I was able to retire, you guys. Retire. Stop working because I followed my purpose and I was able to accomplish what I need to accomplish, not only financially, structurally in my business. I'm teaching you the things that I did. It's not a get rich quick. It's just a set of principles that I want you to follow so that, that you can achieve your purpose. And once you achieve your purpose, you're gonna be good. Yana said, hit that like button, like, subscribe, share, turn on the notifications. And I'm gonna see y'all real soon. Take care.